Well, I have some results for you, and they are not at all what you expect. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm so close to the camera, and it's for dramatic effect because these results are dramatic and a disaster. Here we go. On January 30th, I decided to do an experiment for all of you YouTube people, all of you amazing people. I decided to try winter sowing, which is making a little mini greenhouse and starting 4 of the same seeds using 3 different containers. So I did the OG method, which is the milk jug, something like this. You tape it, you put your soil, you plant your seeds, and you tape it. The OG method, because that's what I did last year. I did a ziplock bag, which I had heard about online and thought that was just crazy, but so exciting. And then I did this bin over my shoulder and had little containers in. I drilled holes and I went through the whole process. You can check out the video. And I asked you for your votes. The vote that won the most was the OG method. The second runner up was the plastic bin. A lot of you used the plastic bin and had amazing results. And so I was super excited to see what happened. And so because this year the temperature has fluctuated, I have had to do so much different than last year. Last year was my first time winter sowing. I love it. And after my results this year, even more, I love it. Not these results necessarily, but the results of my real winter sowing that I didn't do an experiment on. I just posted part 1 and part 2, and I'm telling you, you have to see them to believe. I will make a believer of winter sowing out of you, I promise. Okay, so back to this experiment. So we are going to get into this, and I'm going to tell you what happened, okay? The container. Don't laugh. I don't know if you can see. So the results are, these are the slug infested, the bottom is full of slugs. These are the zinnias. They all look like this, okay? Next up, we have our butter crunch. Yes, butter crunch lettuce 2. Successes, holes, slugs. It's a slug fest, I'm telling you. They've made like a little nest. We have our Tithonia. Negative. And listen, I opened these up, I watered them, I made sure they did not dry out, I protected them. I did what I was supposed to, but the snapdragons, however, amazing. Okay, so we only have germination and beautiful germination from our snapdragons. All right, so here's where I tell you the story. I went to California, and the night before I was leaving to go to California, so we had 80-degree weather for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And life was good. Well, I was going to California. I have a million seedlings inside under grow lights. And I left my husband home. And when I told him, like, for the week, you have to keep my plants alive, I can't tell you, the look on his face was like, I don't want to be the one responsible for your plants because of, y'all get it. If you know, you know, right? So he already had to move my winter sowing containers in and out for 3 of those days. In the garage, out of the garage, because they had all germinated and the temperature dropped below freezing. I could not have that happen. I could not lose them. We had come too far. And so he had it on a wagon. He was pulling it in and out. And so to tell him, like, anyway, so I had the bright idea, not looking at the full forecast, that the greenhouse, it's unheated, it would be a great place to bring my experimental containers. I would just put them in my greenhouse and they would be okay. I watered them really well before I left and they would be okay until I got back. Well, the third day, the temperature got up to almost 90, which in my greenhouse, I think it got up to like 108. And so our experiment is going to be based off of what the dead plants look like, okay? So I think we can pick a winner out of the dead plants, but they're not. I'm so embarrassed. I'm embarrassed, but this is just typical, okay? So let's start with the lettuce in our bags, okay? They did look really pretty, like, I mean, amazing. Like, this bag was like amazing. Zinnias, no dead plants, nothing. Tithonia, we have one dead plant. Snapdragon is struggling, but we do have one plant and then a new one since I got back. Okay, so our last and final epic reveal of our 3 different ways, different methods of winter sowing. I saved the most epic for last, okay? So 2 of the containers accidentally made their way up to the garage and were safe. Number 1 is Tithonia. This is my most favorite. This is my most favorite plant, and I just can't say enough about it. However, I got nothing, just a weed. Number 2, these are my early bird zinnias, and these were saved from the kiss of death by accidentally being put up at the garage. And so here we have our early bird zinnia, and they've been munched, and they have been down here this whole time. I just, for whatever reason, I think that I thought they were something else and I took them up there. So I saved them. Snapdragon, I think you can see the results. This was also put up in the garage and cared for. And I saved the best for last. You guys are not going to believe it. I want you to brace yourself. I want you to brace. It's so good. If this doesn't convert you to winter sowing, I don't know what will. Like, dramatic. Ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I want some salad, don't you? So obviously these were in the greenhouse while I was gone. That's the end of our experiment, my friends. You know what? Even though we had a bit of a mishap on my, the error was on me, obviously. I still am so excited that this experiment happened, and I now, I've learned so much. I've learned so much over this past winter, and I'm just grateful for that. So I can laugh at it. I'm not upset about it, because all I took was a pack of seeds and some potting mix and a container that I had already used, and I was able to do all of these experiments. I bought these at Walmart. They were the Great Value brand, and the only expense I really had was this container. But you know what? I'm going to use it again and again and again. I'm going to keep trying and see what happens. So I want to thank you so much for all of your votes, for your comments, for sharing what's worked for you, what hasn't, for asking questions, and truly making this like a community. I'm just so excited and motivated. Next up is the planting. So I have so many exciting plants from my winter sowing, and my seedlings that I grew inside that are now hardened off. And so I hope you will come back. Please subscribe. If you're watching this, if you like this, you know, it just sort of shows me like, yeah, people are interested in what you're doing, even though you're silly and crazy. You know, people have an interest in what you're doing, because I love it. Absolutely love it. So subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. You know, any and all. And I want to thank you. I hope you have a chance to experiment in your own garden, and that you have a chance to get your hands dirty today and play out in the soil, and that your temperatures are moving in the right direction, and that your garden is getting ready to be planted. And I hope you have a great day. I will see you in another video soon. Don't forget to come back and check out what we're doing next, and look at those videos, I'll link them below, on my other winter sowing that is not an experiment. I will see you soon. Take care.